the good life, full of fun.
Hey guys, welcome to my kitchen. Another exciting day in my kitchen. What the heck are we gonna make? I'm gonna tell you, do you remember when you were a kid, one of the favorite things that your mother could ever make? Cupcakes. We're gonna make cupcakes. We're gonna make the most awesome, delicious, light, fluffy, airy, silky, smooth cupcakes with both, you know, because sometimes people struggle, like, do I like vanilla, do I like chocolate? We're gonna do both. We're gonna make a vanilla, airy, light, silky cake, and then we're gonna top it. You ready for this? Get ready, hold on to your hats. Chocolate mascarpone cheese topping. I mean, oh my God, buttercream top, are you kidding me? So this is gonna be unbelievable. It's fun, it's easy. It's gonna fill the house with the most beautiful smells. My kids are gonna come back in a little bit. I'm excited to share with them. I didn't even tell them what I was gonna make. So let me go over ingredients. Now what I'm gonna do real quick here is I wanna go over ingredients for the cake first, and then I'll finish that, put it in the cupcake holders, and then I'm gonna go over the ingredients with the chocolate mascarpone frosting, okay? So just so we don't make it too confusing. So let's start with this. We're gonna start with 1.5 cups of flour. Now just real quick on the flour, you wanna use pastry flour, and you definitely wanna sift it. So you wanna lighten it up and air it up a little bit, okay? Pastry flour's got a lower protein content, it's ground smaller, it's going to give you a lighter, airier cake. I don't know if airier is a word, but I just made it up, so I guess it is. Okay, then we're going to use 3 quarters of a cup of sugar. Okay, apparently I can't talk today. And then I'm going to use 1 stick of unsalted butter. You know, a lot of people will email me and ask me about the butter, and that's a great question. If you have salted butter in your house, you know, don't add salt to any of your recipes, okay? But ideally you want to use unsalted, that way you can control the salt. But if you don't, it's not the end of the world, okay? Just to give you a heads up. We're gonna use 1/2 cup of whole milk, okay? We're gonna use 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Oh my God, vanilla just tastes great. All right, and then I'm gonna use a pinch of salt, all right? I'm gonna use 2 teaspoons of baking powder, okay, not soda, 2 teaspoons baking powder. And then last, I skipped it on purpose. You ready for my little magic here? 4 eggs, okay, 4 egg yolks. I apologize, 4 egg yolks. We're not gonna use egg whites. Couple of reasons. One, we want that beautiful yellow cakey color that you're gonna get with the yolks. Secondly, not using the egg whites, it'll make it a little smoother, a little lighter, a little fluffier. It's gonna make it the cake a little bit nicer. If you will, a gentler sponge, okay? If you keep out the egg protein as far as the whites go, okay? So we're gonna mix the dry ingredients first. So let me get the bowl, Magic TV, hold on 1 second. So I'm gonna add my dry ingredients first, 1.5 cups. I've got organic, unbleached, unenriched, okay? So it's just perfect, beautiful flour, okay? I've got my 3/4 cup of sugar. Pop that in there, right? I've got my pinch of salt. Pop that. It's actually Himalayan pink salt. It's kind of cool, right? And then I've got my 2 teaspoons of baking powder. I'm just going to give it a quick stir so I can mix those dry ingredients, okay? And then essentially what the baking powder does, it's a leavening agent, so it's going to add the air. It's going to bubble up, okay? Like if you make a volcano with vinegar and beautiful baking soda. All right, so there's my dry ingredients, right? And then what I'm going to basically do is I want to add my butter. All right, and we're gonna cream it, all right, and then I'm gonna get the butter kind of incorporated, then I'm gonna add the rest of it, all right? So I'm gonna have you guys come right over here, we'll get over the mixer, I'll show you exactly what it looks like. Talk to you in a minute. All right, guys, so I'm gonna start mixing this, all right? So I just brought it over the mixer, but just a heads up, I've got the oven preheated at 350 degrees, and then we're gonna get at least 12 cupcake yield out of this, and we're gonna bake them probably around 20 minutes. So I always really start checking it tight at the 15-minute mark. Sometimes you gotta turn and arrange it in the oven, okay? All right, guys, so I've done this maybe about 2 minutes. So what you're seeing is it kind of looks like crumbly is what's happening. You see how kind of crumbly it is? So I've got it right where I want to go with it. So now I want to start adding some of my other ingredients. First thing I want to add is some olive oil. Ha, I'm just kidding. But I thought it was shameless plug time. So for you guys that aren't aware, we sell our own olive oil here from Italy. It's actually Italian olive oil, and it's extra virgin. The olives come right from Co-op farms. right in Puglia, Italy, and I named the company after my two boys, Vito and Joey. So if you guys are looking for a great, authentic Italian olive oil, makes a great gift, makes a great addition to any kitchen. You guys can get it right online. You can click right on Buy It Facebook or shop on our Facebook webpage. You can go right to my Cooking at 10 with Joe webpage. We've got a lot of the recipes. We're adding recipes every couple of weeks. Certainly this one will be up in a couple of weeks as well. So, all right, so that's my shameless plug. So we're not adding olive oil, obviously, but we're gonna add our milk. So I'm gonna get this going. I'm gonna keep it nice and slow. And just remember, you don't want to over mix it because you'll incorporate too much air and then it'll collapse on you, okay? So you don't want to do that. So we're going to add our milk. Right now we're just going to add our wet ingredients at the end here. Okay, we're going to add our vanilla. Oh, that's nice right there. And then we're going to add our eggs. Okay, now sometimes if it comes out a little bit stiff, you're just going to add a little bit more milk, okay? All right, guys, it's been about 2 minutes. And I just want to show you how awesome this is. So first thing I want you to notice, look at the color. Isn't that beautiful? It's got that like golden, gorgeous color, and it's nice and smooth. That's exactly what you want, that batter. You don't want it too thin, you don't want it too thick. I'm going to bring this right over our work surface. I'm going to get my cupcake holders and tray out. We're going to start filling, baking, making the top. It's going to be unbelievable. Talk to you guys in a minute. All right, guys, welcome back. So I got a little trick. I always use one of my little scoopers, my sherbet scoopers, all right? Just to get it in there, and then we've got our cups, and you figure about one of these on a heaping level will do it. All right, so I've got a non-stick cupcake tray. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and fill these. I'll tell you, the room starts to smell good right here. So we're going to make probably 2 dozen out of this. Okay, just to give you a heads up. So I'll go ahead and fill these up. I'll show you exactly what it looks like. We'll throw it in the preheated oven, 350 degrees. Smells good. We'll start making that frosting. I'll talk to you guys in a minute. All right, guys, look at that. I'm not going to tell you I didn't taste it. Pretty good stuff. All right, so I'm going to pop this in the oven. We're preheated 350. Like I said, I'd watch it. Now I'm about 10 to 15 minutes always, so I'm going to pop it in 10 minutes. And then just check to make sure everything's cooking evenly. Try to get it right in the middle rack of your oven, okay? And then if it's not, at that 10-minute barrier, just rearrange it, turn it, if you have to. Not all ovens are like that, okay? All right, guys, you ready to make chocolate mascarpone buttercream frosting? Does that sound like unbelievable? All right, so what are we gonna use here? We're gonna use about a cup and a half, cup and a quarter, cup and a half of confectionery sugar. Now remember, that's just the same as regular sugar. It's just ground to be really smooth and small, and that way it incorporates within the frosting better because it's not going to so much dissolve as much, right? We've got 1 stick of butter, unsalted, okay? We've got a half a pound or 8 ounces of mascarpone cheese. You can't beat that stuff, right? Pinch of salt, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, about 2 tablespoons of milk. We're going to add that at the end. We don't want to add that at the beginning because we want to make sure the consistency is where it needs to be. So we want it thick, but not too thick, right? We want to be able to pipe it, but we don't want it to be, like I said, too stiff. And then we want a half of a cup of a really good quality cocoa, which is what I got here. Oh, that's good. And one last magical secret, brings you right back to old Italy ingredient right there. There's a pinch of nutmeg. Oh, nutmeg goes so well with mascarpone cheese or any type like ricotta cheese, any type of those cheeses. It's gonna be absolutely delicious. All right, guys, welcome to the headquarters mixer. All right, so we're gonna take 1 stick of our butter. What we wanna do here is we wanna cream essentially the cheese and the butter and the sugar. We're gonna cream it all together. So here's our mascarpone cheese, right? Oh, I mean, it's just, there's nothing that doesn't mix with. And then I'm gonna take my confectionery sugar, okay? Let me get these out of your way, okay? Again, I'm not gonna go really high speed, but I wanna really incorporate this well so that it creams it. Everything gets really creamy. As soon as it starts to get creamy, and that'll take a couple of minutes, then I'm gonna add all the rest of the ingredients. All right, guys, so I just wanna show you, see how nice and creamy that is? So that's the sugar, the butter, and mascarpone cheese. I could just eat that. I'm gonna tell you right now, I think I'm right where I need to be. I don't even think we need to cook it. All right, so that's perfect. So I'm gonna put this, so there's our butter cream, if you will, frosting, okay? So I'm gonna put that down, and then I'm gonna put it on really light, okay? And I'm gonna add my vanilla, and you'll have to, use, and then my pinch of salt. You'll have to use your spatula just to, a lot of people get nervous about adding salt, but salt's gonna give it that savory, it brings out the flavor. You're not gonna Taste the salt. Nutmeg. Oh man, just absolutely fantastic. So we're using a pinch of nutmeg, like an eighth of a teaspoon. Okay. So I'm going to turn this up just a touch, just for a minute. I want to get that to mix, and then I'm going to add I'm going to shut everything off, add the cocoa, and then I'm going to turn it on really, really slow. Okay. All right, guys. Here we go. It's cocoa time. All right. So I've got the cocoa. I'm going to add it nice and easy. Okay. And I know I already said this, I'm going to come down, and then I'm going to go on the lowest setting, and then let it kind of incorporate and get wet, and then you can crank it, okay? Hey guys, look what just came out of the oven. I'll tell you, if it doesn't smell like my mom's kitchen right now, this is good stuff. So they're perfect, right? You got a nice, just a touch of gold on the top, and then just for the heads up, you know, I'm always going to do a little check, and you want to just make sure everything comes out clean. So I always use a, you know, a nice big pick here, just to make sure everything's good. So everything's coming out clean, they're beautiful. Now remember, they're still gonna cook a little, so sometimes if it comes out even just a hint of a little bit of, I don't wanna say batter, but a little bit of cupcake on there, if it's just a hint of it, don't even worry about it. They're still really hot. So now we're gonna let them cool, because they're, like I said, they're still cooking. So I'm gonna set them aside, we're gonna let them cool for a good 15, 20 minutes or more, and then we're gonna finish that buttercream. I'm gonna show you exactly what that looks like. We're gonna pop it right in the refrigerator, and when everything's cool, we're gonna pipe them. We're gonna hit them with some shavings of chocolate. Oh my God, they're gonna be absolutely delicious. I'll talk to you guys in a minute. How you doing? All right, guys, I'm gonna tell you right there, that is some serious, it passed the test. My son Vito came upstairs and tasted it and said, that is like the best frosting I've ever had. So good stuff. So I'm gonna put in a piping bag. You can take a Ziploc bag and, you know, and you can go to the store and they sell like little kits to put little fun, you know, designs on it, which is great, but I've got way more than I need, I can tell you right now, but I'm gonna pop that right in there. And then what I like to do, because it's buttercream, is I like to just get it ready to go, seal it up, and then throw it in the fridge. So that way it's nice and stiff and cool. Even though the cupcakes are a little cooler, it just gets everything nice and cool. So I'm gonna get it just like that, pop it just like that. I'm gonna pop it in the refrigerator. Hey guys, you know what's funny? We're gonna just frost these puppies right here. And my favorite song came on. It's The Good Life with Frank Sinatra, our intro for our cooking and television show. Kind of cool, right? All right, so I just pulled this out of the, oh, that's good, out of the refrigerator. It's loaded with chocolate, mascarpone, buttercream. It'd be funny if it came out and shot me right in the face, wouldn't it? I think my camera person wanted that to happen. All right, so I'm gonna just turn it, right? You wanna sing like, hey, you wanna sing like an Italian song when you're doing this, right? And then real simple, you know, I'm just gonna go around, and if you can zoom in on that, you're just gonna go around like this, you know? Oh, that's good. And you know, the key here is you want the perfect bite, so you wanna just, oh, that's perfect, isn't that fantastic? I'm not kidding you, my mouth is watering right now. Hey guys, you ready? All right, so there you go. They're not all on that tray, all right? I've got about half of them on that tray. And then what I did is I shaved I took a microplane and I shaved some milk chocolate. I didn't do the dark chocolate because I have picky people in my family and they don't like dark chocolate, so I have to use milk chocolate. So I've got some shavings of the chocolate, and then what I'm gonna do is just hit them with a little sprinkle. Oh, are you kidding me? That is just, I might have hit that one with a little too much, but it'll work. All right, so I'm gonna save the rest of this for the other ones. And does that just look fantastic? I mean, those are some seriously delicious cupcake. I'm telling you, the cake recipe on this is probably gonna be one of the best cakes you've ever had. I'm not kidding you. And then on top of that, that chocolate, mascarpone, buttercream frosting, oh my God, to die for. And you've got that perfect bite in the chocolate cupcake. I'll tell you what guys, we're gonna take some pictures. I'm gonna tune back with you guys. Best part is tasting and eating. Talk to you guys in a minute. Hey guys, all right, here's my favorite part, the tasting part, the eating part. But my biggest challenge is trying to locate the cupcake that has the perfect match of frosting and cake. You know, the perfect bite. And I think I found it. I don't know about you guys when you were kids. You know, my dad would always take my brother and I, and you know, we'd want to have half of something, so one of us had to cut it and the other one had to chew. So you made sure that it was like perfect, right? So there it is. Does that look just, oh my God, is that just awesome, right? So I'm gonna pull my little piece of paper off. And like I said, the cake here is gonna be great. What's nice is the color of it is gonna be fantastic. And you know, it's got just the right amount of frosting on top. Yep, see how nice and golden that is? Look at that beautiful color there from the yolks. Oh boy, that's good. Yeah, my mouth's watering. Here we go. Right back to Mom's kitchen. That. Look at that cake. Look at that, how beautiful that is. Absolutely, absolutely perfect. Oh my God. I told you it's the best cake recipe you'll ever have. Oh my God, that's perfect. I'm gonna eat the rest of that. No doubt about it. At the end of this filming. But guys, thanks for allowing me to share my traditions, my heritage with you guys. Have some fun in the kitchen. Spend some fun in the kitchen with your children making this recipe and other recipes that you can share for generations to come. Until next week, guys. Mwah. Buon appetito.
It's the good life.